Peace, family. So last night I did a channeling and it was pretty long for the Lilith Collective, but there was stuff that was super dense and it needed some time to, clarify. So there was some stuff that I was kind of still pretty confused about, and I have some clarification that I want to share from that channeling, and it is that, so in the story of the first R, Sophia sends down Zoe and she breathes life into the atom that the archons created, and then she comes down as Eve to be with this atom, and the archons want to grape her, and so they pull her back and they grape a carbon copy. This makes sense because, as I was saying, Lilith, the original wife, was a divine being. She was the child of two gods, and she fled from her assailants, and this carbon copy, this replicant that did end up being assaulted, is this Eve that was the wife of this, I guess you could say, Adam. But both of those beings are replicants. Neither of them were originally created by the creator. They were created by the archons, and that is what was made clear to me. And so this Eve archetype is, and this Adam, they are the progenitors of that line. And they are the false ones, essentially. And the true Lilith, the dark feminine, is free. That's what I downloaded while I was showering just now. And what I also picked up was that the false feminine and the false masculine that were created, like I said in the channeling, these replicants basically, they experienced these traumas and are pretty evil, and they are the ones that are serving as the masters, the originators of this bloodline. This does tie into what I was saying about the vampires too. But exactly how is still a little bit unclear. But what I would say is that carbon Eve that they had, that they created for Adam after Lilith left, I would say that she is the W of B, if you will. She is the W of B. And they're all inversions of the originals. And what I'm also picking up is that they are the progenitors of these devolving devolution, these beings that are devolving humanity and this matrix, because they can't create. I kept getting the Empress in reverse. They can't create anything. They just eat. They suck. Vampires. And so they're creating these black holes. They're creating and these black holes are feeding this phantom matrix that exists. And I'm wondering if the phantom matrix is the same as the false matrix that I've spoken of. But it's a little bit unclear. I don't want to take too much time with this channeling. but it feels like it's right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, they feed on the light of the true matrix and the actual humans. That's why they're like, oh, if we go out from here, the other people will kill me. Cain said that, and that the other people were actually like real people. If they go out from here, they're saying they feed on the light, and it feeds their false matrix because they can't generate light on their own. So they have to feed on the light in order to do that. And she's evil because of the things that happened to her. Just because she was a replicant doesn't mean that she wanted those things to happen to her. But that's just what it is, I guess. And yeah, so that patriarchy and patriarchal abuse, femicide, like oppression of women and females, and femininity, demonization of it, like, yeah, even though it may seem like she's the bad one, they're using her. And they have, they're using her. But there's a false mother at the center of all of this that these masculines are working for, essentially. Either way, this Christos lineage coming into here to fix everything that went wrong when it was created improperly, like, integrates, the 𝗧𝗵𝗱𝗲 is integrated. The 𝗧𝗵𝗱𝗲 that did not exist but was supposed to is integrated into the true matrix and is writing it. And I think that this is saying, like, all of this was inevitable. All of this was inevitable because it was incorrectly created. So this kind of chaos, these kinds of issues were inevitably going to happen one way or another here, because it was incorrectly created. And now this is being corrected. And this is why it's so important to live in your authentic truth and be your true self. If you are crystalline. Because that is how we integrate the Christos, the Christos energy into Earth, into the matrix, in order to heal it from this aberration. Okay, so I think that's it for now. If I download anything else, I will. Ooh, I'm receiving more. Wait. I'm hearing the song, and I want you to know, couldn't have loved you better. So I'm already gone. It's Kelly Clarkson. I want you to know, couldn't love you better. Wanted to move on, so I'm already gone. Basically, like, it's important to forgive the people who have hurt you because they are sick and they are just victims of, like, this disease and this abuse, the mind control, all of this stuff. They're just victimized by all of that, and it's best to just forgive them and let it go. And all of the suffering that you're experiencing will be let go when you let it go, because they can't do any more than they are capable of doing. And if you, like, for instance, if you incarnated into a family that is very, you know, abusive or toxic or whatever, and you have always identified that you are of a higher vibration than them, then of course it stands to reason that you and them, like, that they're not capable of loving you to the extent that you need to be loved, and they're not capable of loving you to the degree that you're capable of loving them. And whatever you have to do to love them unconditionally is what you have to do, even if that means like being no contact, even if that means letting them go forever, you know, and you can just deal with that grief on your own, and that's the right thing to do. But whatever you have to do to be able to forgive them is what you have to do, because they're not capable of doing more. And once you accept that, the true healing can begin. You know, and that's work that you might have to do your whole life, but it is what it is. This is true for like any kind of relationship. These sick people, like, it's best to just like accept them for who they are. And that doesn't mean that you are like, okay, what they did was okay. By no means is that what I'm saying. But it is accepting them for accepting what they did, accepting why they did it is because like they're sick. And this unnatural world made them the way that they are, and not internalizing it about being about you, it's about them. And what can you do to heal? And, you know, yeah, I think that's the best thing that you can do is just consider, how can I heal from this experience? And not even so much like, what did I do wrong, but like, how can I heal from this? And you will realize like, oh, you know something, I contributed in this way, and I'm not going to do that again. Like, that is a part of healing, because healing brings wisdom. Processing the experience brings wisdom, and that is the true alchemy. It's turning painful experiences into wisdom, and learning a lesson that like we can carry, that elevates our experience, you know, and living in that light and being that light for others, and being able to like light others' lamps, pass that light on, so that we are eventually lighting up the world and casting out these shadows. That's what's happening here. And unfortunately, a lot of the crystallines have experienced these kinds of traumas that are normal in this system, but they're not. That it's still an aberration. This system is an abomination, and you know, there will be liberation. Just be certain of that. That's what I'm hearing, and I think that that's it. I hope that was helpful, and I'm really glad that I could clarify what was coming through last night, because I did feel a bit frustrated, and I was going to take that video down, but I think that it can be, there's a lot of codes and messages that were important, and being able to clarify just a little bit more now is really great. So I love you all truly and deeply, and I will see you on the flip side. If you want to book a session with me, if you want to book a reading, anything like that, go ahead and email me. My email is in the description. And yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.